Hi Aquarius, I hope that you're all doing well. We are here with a general reading and a timeless one at that. Before we get started, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. It looks like something has occurred, maybe in a way that you possibly didn't think that you wanted it to go. That may be a side note. Maybe not. You may have found yourself within a situation that didn't live up to what you thought it was going to live up to. And so you may be sort of moving on from that and towards something that you feel like you can connect with on the type of level that you're trying to connect with. We're starting off with the Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups is a great place to be beginning. This means that there's a focus on self-love, on you connecting with yourself, on you holding space for yourself emotionally, on you touching base. You know what you want. This also means too that you could be doing things that like promote you opening up your heart, because Ace of Cups is associated with the heart chakra. So there can be like people, animals, places, things that you connect with that you feel like bring out your heart chakra to allow you to connect. So things that you want to be connecting with. And this can also be a focus on like skills and abilities that are connected with your senses, with your intuition as well, or just things that your heart can be involved within. I'm seeing you get kind of protective of yourself here. This feels like a very grand moment because you are looking at yourself and being like, I have the Ace of Cups within me, and that means that when people connect with me, like they have the honor of connecting with the Ace of Cups within me, which again is like this focus on your heart chakra, to focus on your feelings, like how you show up emotionally when you connect with somebody. And to have you in this space of the Queen of Swords, this means you're protecting your heart, not in a way where you're closing your heart chakra, but in a way where you're like, I understand how valuable what it is that I bring to the table, especially emotionally. Like that's the big focus here. And it is an honor to allow somebody to have the space to connect with me and to provide them with that. I see how valuable I am. I see how valuable the love that I have to give is. So there's a lot of self-value here within this self-love. And so you're not just out here connecting with anybody and everything without using your discernment. So this is a focus on using your discernment when it comes to who you are connecting with emotionally. Because you know people are going to... When you exchange with people, places, and things, it ends up potentially affecting you. So, protective with your heart, as you should be. I want to say this because this is a big highlight. This is not you going around and being like, I don't care about anybody or anything. This is you using your discernment. So you're not setting yourself up to be in a situation where someone's crossing your boundaries, or when something like that happens, you remove yourself from the situation, right? So it's not you just being around being cold to everybody or being like, I don't care about anybody, you know? It's not about that. You're not hardening your heart here. Your heart is wide open. And that's why you having compassion and also boundaries is so important here. So yeah, something may have happened to sort of inspire this within you, but I'm seeing it come from a space of self-love, and that's why this is so important, because it's like you care about yourself so much that you're like, I'm not going to put myself in a precarious position. So this is me looking out for myself in an honorable way. Yeah, you may actually also be really paying attention to the intention behind like what people are saying to you, like how people are acting. I'm seeing you get very, very observant here, especially like really listening to people, the people that you've been interacting with. I feel like we just entered into a party scene. Next to you, we also have the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Swords here. Maybe a couple people involved in this situation. I'm seeing you have your heart like sort of stowed away in like this glass container. And I'm seeing these two other people. You may be setting boundaries with these two people. Focus on your receptivity, using your intellect, filtering information. Queen of Swords is also you being in an archetype of energy where you don't just believe anything and everything that somebody says. Like, you check it back in with yourself and be like, is that true? Isn't that not true? How do I feel about that? Like, do I feel suspicious? Like, do I feel at peace with this? Things like that. Queen of Pentacles here, there can be a very big focus on your personal life. So who are you personally interacting with? Who are you choosing to interact with in your personal life? Who are you allowing in your personal life? For some of you, you may be going through like a bit of a weeding process when it comes to your interpersonal relationships. And I'm also seeing you be in the energy of the King of Swords too. So this means that if you feel like something needs to be said or something needs to be called out, you're doing that. This may not feel like the easiest thing for you to do, but I'm seeing a very, very, like a cobalt blue here. This is something that you're doing for yourself. This is an opening of the throat chakra. There may be somebody that it can be hard at times to like have a conversation with them because maybe they're a bit assertive verbally, but I'm seeing you sort of step up into this energy to match that in order to be able to sort of function within this back and forth. Because Queen of Swords is also you advocating for yourself, standing up for yourself. I'm seeing gray suede here. Ooh, okay. So, this thing that you need to do, it very much looks like an interpersonal exchange that's going on here. For some of you, definitely two other people outside yourself, for sure. Okay. So whatever this little triangle is that's happening, I'm seeing there may be like a sort of challenging conversation where you may have to assert yourself in a way that you don't normally or maybe don't feel super comfortable with, but it's necessary at this point for you to show up in this way verbally. Communication wise, I'm seeing a rose here. And that's what I'm seeing the challenge be for you. On the other side of this, like once that is sort of figured out, and it does seem like conversation and something going on within your personal life, confirmation of that. On the other side of this, what I'm seeing is that there's something that you are going to, something that you started that you're going to continue working on, that I'm seeing you've actually made like a wild amount of progress, like very, very impressive here. This may also be the reason why you feel like you're being more protective with your energy, especially your like emotional and soul energy. That can be like your inspiration, stuff like that with the cups. So you may be like, hey, I'm setting these boundaries because I need to take that emotional energy and use it for this thing that I've been working on. I'm also seeing that you've like really been working on using your voice too. And there may be somebody that you've been working with, because I'm seeing that there's a relationship here with a feminine figure that you've been investing an immense amount of like time and energy, like just pouring it in. Even to the point where you feel like you've really gotten good at something here. It feels like this thing that you're doing, it seems very, very precious to you. And you are very protective of that. Because I'm seeing it be something that you feel like it's very pure and wanting to protect that connection that you have to this thing that you've been doing. Like for some of you, I'm hearing it's a work of art. For some of you, this can be like a project. This can be, I don't know, an idea that you have. It can be a relationship. It's something that you're doing that you're like, I want to protect this thing. I'm seeing you be like somewhat, maybe like protective, like a bit territorial about this, but not in an aggressive way. It's more like, I want to keep the purity of this thing, and I don't want it to be influenced by anything that I think might like damage it in any way. And so that's why I'm seeing you be protective. And it seems like that also may be why some sort of like conversation is coming up here. Or why you're just like paying attention to things more closely. Because I'm not seeing it. It's like you have this. I'm seeing it even be like a trophy now. This can be like an accomplishment of yours or just something that you feel very proud of. I'm seeing like the Ace of Cups is like you have it in this room, and this room is under lock and key. Like you do not let anybody go in there. And like these two people are showing up and being like, hey, can we see it? Can we see what's going on here? And I'm seeing you have like, they need to give you like the passcode or something to it. Like I'm seeing you tentatively like really be watching something so particular about, I don't know, maybe you're watching for something when it comes to the way that these people are interacting with you. Almost like wanting to check them at the door. But that's not to say that you're not going to like let them in and see what you have going on, but it's almost like they need to sort of pass some sort of test, energetically speaking. You know, like you need to make sure that the vibe is right here. This feels like super, super secret, whatever this thing is that you have going on. Like, very, very intriguing. Okay, so this thing that you've dedicated like so much time and energy into, I'm seeing a choice needs to be made, but it seems like it may be about like somebody who's been sort of in this process with you. And potentially an additional individual that could be involved in this as well. I feel like for those of you that like this reading is not for, this is going to sound so confusing and make zero sense. But those of you that are on this train, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, this feels like a specialty reading. The decision that needs to be made, it seems like as soon as something is decided upon, something can then take off from there. 1414. Let's look that up. That feels significant. But yeah, something may have been put on hold until a decision was made. 1414. If you feel self-doubt is holding you back, it's time to change that mindset. It's about how your thoughts can shape your reality. It's also about getting back to the basics in your relationship with self and the foundations of who you are. Sounds about right. And then we also have this, the 10 of Cups on the bottom of the deck too. So yeah, maybe something felt a little bit challenging, but then I'm seeing you move into a very, very smooth energy. But yeah, for a minute there, you could have felt like you hit a bit of a wall. But I'm actually seeing it's like this. You could have been doing something and you like mapped out the journey, right? And you're on the road and you see this wall in front of you and you're scratching your head. Like, I didn't see on MapQuest that wall was there. I didn't see on Waze that wall was going to be there. It said that this was like I could get through here. And I'm seeing your guides be behind it actually. So you could have been looking at this wall that was there and you're thinking about like maybe needing to reroute something. And I'm seeing your guides be like behind the wall, like they put it there because you needed to slow down, like you needed to stop with something. It was like you weren't supposed to get past that point. But then as soon as like you're allowed to go through, I'm seeing them like lift it up and you can continue with where you were going. So that's what I'm seeing happen here. So you may have been like, wow, I'm like moving around and things feel okay. And now just all of a sudden I'm sort of hitting this wall and I can't go any further. And it's because your guides are like, it's like you got somewhere sooner than you like needed to be and other things needed to align and then they sort of like let you go through. It's like when you're going past like the train tracks and the train goes through, like you have to wait until it goes through to be able to get out on the other side. So yeah, there was like a pause, but I'm seeing it be a deliberate pause. But it may have felt frustrating to you because you're like, hey, I'm in the middle of my journey right now, but I'm seeing that wall that you hit, there's like a timer on it of like it's up and then it's down. So if something was going on with the timing and you felt like, am I being blocked because I should reroute? I'm seeing it's not about that. It was just like you needed to pause for a moment and then you could continue because like other things needed to fall into place. Yeah, you could have even needed to talk to somebody and felt like you couldn't get a hold of them, like you couldn't get a reach, but you could have, it's something weird where it's not like the phone's not getting reception or it's not working at all. It's ringing, but they're not picking up. Something like that. Where like something was moving, but then it stopped. But it was because your guides did this. It seems like it's also encouraging like a moment for you to check in as well. Almost like they want you to double check something. So yeah, if you were going about your merry little way and you felt like you got stopped, just look things over in the meantime, because that time is meant to be used. For some of you, this has to do with business, entrepreneur type stuff, what you're building as far as your future, what you're committing to, what you're doing now that's going to also be like integrated into what's going on in the future for you as well. So yeah, something about that needed to be looked at. For some of you guys, you're gonna get an assistant, or this can be like a secretary or something like that, somebody that helps you out. With maybe like ancillary tasks. I'm seeing so much success when it comes to what you're doing, but you Yeah, you may be thinking about goals, and finances can be involved in this as well. It doesn't have to be finances. It's like something about a resource structure, and like your energy is a resource as well too. So just know that when we talk about resources, it's not solely connected with physical things. Goes far above and beyond that. So yeah, there could have been for some of you something connected with like home, or like a building that you own, or like a workspace that you work out of, or that you rent, stuff like that. And or it could have been something goal related for you, but something that you would have to sort of build up to, or build, yeah, towards. This can also have to do with spending as well. What I'm seeing too is that like something could be going very, very well, but for some reason there's like a need to sort of like look over everything. Maybe to, I don't know what exactly we have to make sure of here, because it seems like something is going so well that like you wouldn't think to sort of check up on it or look into it, but that it ends up helping you to look at something now, even though it's kind of like checking something out even though it's not a problem, if that makes sense. You know, like something may be going well and you're just sort of checking in with it rather than being like, oh, now that there's a problem, I have to go in there and fix something. It's like things are running smoothly, and it's sort of just like checking in on things, like checking the levels of everything. And it may actually help you like continue to like reach and meet the goals that you're setting out for yourself. I am hearing the word thriving. Ooh, you're going to be taking a break. So yeah, maybe that's why this needed to be looked at, because for some of you you're reaching a really big goal financially, or it doesn't just have to be financially. For some of you it definitely is a financial goal, but for others of you it's like some like quota that you wanted to reach, or something that you've been like working really hard towards. I'm seeing something that you've absolutely like dedicated yourself to. This can be anything, like say you've been writing a book, it's like you finally finish it, like something like that that feels really monumental. And I'm seeing that you're actually going to be taking, like, you get a break after this, and I'm seeing it be something so well deserved. Like, this is you working so hard with so much discipline and so much concentration, and just like tirelessly putting in the work. And I'm seeing that there's like this grace period even that you're going to be given. There's this moment after it where it's like, I don't even know, like something very huge is accomplished here. And then we have the Four of Swords, which means like, okay, you get to relax, like you just get to like breathe. You could have been like holding your breath like leading up until this point, and then something is like finally done. For some of you I'm seeing balloons. There may be like a celebration or something that's tied to this, or like a get together or something like that. This can also be like metaphorically, you just feel like you're crossing the finish line here with something. This feels very, very big. So congratulations. Wow. All right. Let's look and see if there's anything. I'm looking at Jupiter, and I'm hearing Neptune. I'm looking at Jupiter, I'm looking at Pluto, and I'm also looking at Aries. So yeah, maybe this is relevant for you wherever you have Aries in your chart. Or Mars, because Mars also has to do with your finances and stuff. How you're taking action, what you're dedicating your energy to, how you're doing that. So I'm seeing something new that you are starting, that you feel very connected with, or just something that you've been doing recently that you feel very connected with. Like, this is just confirmed for you. in an internal way, I'm seeing this has been confirmed for you, and like taking a look at that, like, wow, I feel really good when I'm doing this. Like, wow, I feel really connected to this. Wow, I feel really present to this. It's like all of these internal signs that when you take a moment to check in, you just know that you're in the right spot, like traveling down the right road. So that's what I'm seeing here. And because of that feeling and you being like, wow, this is something like sacred to me that I'm doing here, I'm seeing your guides be like, pay attention, because if you need to set boundaries, I'm not seeing this be, I want to be as specific as possible here. You have this thing that's going on that feels very sacred to you. When it comes to you setting boundaries, it's with one or two individuals, or at least two characters that would be within the archetype of the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Swords. So it's not you needing to be the Queen of Swords with anything that you're doing or change your process or anything like that. It has to do with, you have this thing over here that's going on, and you need to be in the Queen of Swords with a social thing over here that may somehow like intersect with what you have going on. And you're doing this because I'm seeing it be important that you continue doing what you're doing and not get sidetracked. So it's kind of like something that you know is very viable now, where you're like, I can't stop working now. Like, I need to keep going with this. And so you may be telling somebody like, hey, I can't socialize with you right now because I have to keep working on this. And I'm not seeing this be like forever and always type thing, but you may be getting pressure from these people. And so you may need to be like, hey, I have something going on right now. Like, I can't come out and play today. Because I'm seeing your guides be like, right now is the time that you want to be working on this. Like, this is prime time for you to be making progress. I'm seeing you're getting so good at something. So good at this. Like, this reading is so exciting. I love this energy. Like, whatever this is, I'm seeing you be super dedicated. I'm just seeing you be like so in your purpose as you are doing this, feeling so connected. It's like a moment that sometimes we feel like so uninspired, and this moment is just the absolute opposite of that. You feel engaged in what you're doing, you feel like you're good at it, you feel like you've been doing it enough that you're like getting feedback. Like, I'm seeing you be so close to accomplishing something so important here. And yeah, you may also be potentially like asking somebody to sort of like come in on this process of yours. I'm seeing this be associated with the feminine figure. So you may be like checking somebody out or asking them. This is kind of bringing me back to the, like, these two people are coming over and being like, so what do you have in that back room over there? And you're sort of doing a vibe check to like know whether or not they can see what you have going on. So yeah, somebody may be potentially involved, but I'm seeing that if you involve this person, the reason why this is a big decision, I'm seeing a butterfly here, I'm seeing specifically antenna. If you involve at least, there's at least one person that can potentially be involved in this, maybe two for some of you. If you involve this person, the reason why it's a big decision is that they're going to be involved long term. And so they're going to be incorporated then, and that's why I'm seeing there be a hesitance. But this is where the 1414 came through, of you just like trusting yourself and knowing that this is going to be what you make it. And so yeah, I'm seeing this be a decision about somebody that may be coming on board with you with what it is that you have going on. This person may be able to give you like practical advice, because where you're in this air energy, a Queen of Pentacles is somebody that's going to be able to like be grounding for you. They can remind you to do things physically that need to be done. They can be somebody savvy with finances. Just think about earth signs in general. It's somebody that's good at like task management, reliable, and this would be somebody that you would personally trust as well. Like, you would have a connection with this person. So that's what I'm getting as far as a description for them. Like there's somebody that when you get like all up in your head and you're starting to feel ungrounded, they'll be like, let's take a walk outside and like put your hands on some grass and ground, you know? It's like that type of energy. So this person would anchor you. That's what I'm seeing this person be characterized as, archetypally speaking. And yeah, they may be part of this like bigger thing that you're building that is going to be like a more long-term thing. So you're like, if I bring you in now, like you're going to be here forever, you know, like that kind of thing until this is accomplished at least. And so I'm seeing you actually have like a very serious discussion. For some of you, it's just one person. For others of you, it's two. I know we keep going back and forth, but it's just going to be the variable for each of you guys. So yeah, I'm seeing you're going to be having, you get ready and you're like, okay, I know what decision I'm going to be making. I'm seeing you have a very important conversation here. It looks like a very official conversation. And then I'm seeing you go right into the Ten of Pentacles. Like you go from the King of Swords to the Eight of Wands to the Ten of Pentacles. And that's like, you end up hitting the jackpot with this. Like you just are unstoppable. Unstoppable, going right into the Ten of Pentacles. And that also means that something very big has now been accomplished, or like this goal that you've been setting out to do is like you finally got there, and it being like a very big moment. But what I'm also seeing is that sort of like apart from all of this, I'm seeing the Nine of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, and also the Four of Swords. And so there's something here about like a delay or something with the timing, or maybe it's like challenging for you as far as like when you get to take a break or when you don't get to take a break. But this kind of seems like it's happening after the fact. Like I'm seeing this be somewhat separated from what's going on. Yeah, something about the timing, but I'm actually seeing that whatever this is that you need, especially if you feel like I've been running, like on, doing things, and I feel like I haven't really gotten a chance to breathe. Like, when am I going to get a break? Like, is that going to happen? I'm seeing it is going to happen. So if you were wondering, but felt like something kept like stopping you, or yeah, there was something that wasn't allowing you to like finally take that breath and breathe and get to relax, that is going to be happening. But I'm seeing it happens at a very specific time. Like there's something very particular here with the timing, but you are going to be getting a break, in case you were wondering. Okay, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. Very exciting, very happy for you. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you for connecting. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.